That's a little better. Okay, so well, fuck. Let me see what I can do. Maybe it's better that way. Okay, so now that we got you down here to slight angle, what I'm doing today is I'm going to make French bread pizza. Okay, we're starting out with a beautiful, fresh, semi-fresh baguette. Also, I have some pizza sauce. I have some low moisture cheese, mozzarella cheese at that. Also, pepperoni, little basil, garlic, oregano, sea salt, thrown together, as well as olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and that's what I normally start with. So, what we're going to do is I usually depends on how many people you're going to have. Sometimes you can get, I don't know, 6 or 8 pieces out of this, depending on the size of the baguette you get. Well, this is being done upon request. Sammy Lucio picked this up with me yesterday, and it was funny when she got home. She's like, "Hey, from her mouth, you got to make this, and you're gonna make it tomorrow, or tonight, or today, or something." So I said, "Absolutely," because I like making this. It's fun for one, and it's actually something I can do that's decent. Here, let me try to get. There we go. A little bit more. So normally I'll just see how many people are going to eat. Of course, that's a nice baguette too, nice and fresh. I like to try to do my best to split it down the center. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It just really depends. Sorry about the poor quality if you're looking down at an angle at me. It's just, this is all I got going on right now. So we're going to do first, split this down the middle. I may have enough for 4. Room for 4, I mean. Okay, 1. What I'm doing first is I'll put these in the oven while they're on this tray just for browning purposes. And then I'll come back over and add some more to it. Because I don't want to put them in there direct right now, because if I do, then it's not, it might burn everything all at once and things won't cook evenly. I don't like that. I hate biting into something that it seems like it hasn't been cooked or cooked well enough, I guess. Okay, so, all right. I'm going to come up like this for a second. Well, I slide this forward. Whenever I mix the things together, it's always good to start with the olive oil. Step on there's head. Because the olive oil helps with this stuff sticking. So we will go back down again one more time. I'll slide this back so you can see it. Pop open a little thing of extra virgin olive oil. What I do is I just brush it on. Not super religiously or nothing like that. Just brush it on enough that it doesn't make the bread super, super dry. That's all I'm really going for right now. And enough to make it to where the seasonings that we put on it are going to actually stay with it as we go. Okay. Almost. While I've been doing this, I've actually had the oven going to make sure that it's nice and warm, ready for it to go. Okay. Of course, you gotta drop your tool at least once. Figure, why not, right? So I'll take these over. Wait is now. I will spin you with me as we go here. And you know what I almost did? I almost forgot to put seasoning with that supposed to do that too because it helps baking them together. And you can put what you want when you want. And I know this seasoning because I've actually used it before. So, see? Pop it in real quick. The best way I found to do, if I want to darken the top, is just put it on broil. So it browns it some as I'm doing it. So let's see what's next. I'm going to share this really quick. Okay. Back in with you now. Sorry about that. So now whenever we come, what I like to do is I won't put a timer on that yet. I like to stand around and watch it because you can start to smell whenever everything works together like it should. And you can like almost like that down home kind of, hey, there's a pizza parlor around the corner kind of thing. And I know exactly what it smells like when they're cooking this kind of thing. And that's what this, I mean, it sounds stupid. Okay, I'm not a perfect chef, but this is an all-purpose seasoning and it has everything even out in it that I like to use when I'm doing them because it's the best way to get it to go. Since you guys are just not coming in so far, what I've already done was I split my baguette down the middle, split it in half. So I have 4 sections of baguette that are in the oven as we speak. But what I did also, what you may have missed, I took my paintbrush that I have extra virgin olive oil here. What I do is I'll put a nice little coating all the way across it. Helps keep it, somewhat moisturized while it's in there so it doesn't burn to a crisp. And what I was saying when you popped in is I like to go by flavor, and I used to do it all by myself. But when Tammy, my neighbor, she actually gave me this one day when I was trying to make something. So I tried this, see what it does. And it's perfect. Everything in here is so evenly out that all you got to do is wait for that to brown just a hair. Then we'll bring it back over to the table, and then we'll start to dress it up, and then we'll put it back in. But when I put it back in, I'm not putting it back on the tray. They're going to be direct on the rack. That's why I'm trying to make sure the baguette is cooked at least somewhat thoroughly before we add all the rest of the stuff. Because even though it is a low moisture mozzarella that I'm getting, it's still, you can still see it. I'm sure you guys have ever added cheese to even a take-home pizza. You put it in the oven, you always see that little bit in the middle, or it might seem like you either have to burn it to a crisp in order for it to work, or it's kind of chewy. But if you at least heat the bottom first, that I've found, it's the best way I've found to start it. But of course, you got to smoke weed when you do it. But not only weed, I've been eating cookies all morning too. I'm gonna have to have Bob send me some more cookies. I might even throw me some brown sugar on one of these later on tonight and try it. But with the cookies so far, he sent me 6, and I've got more than a quarter left. But hey, I mean, I can't help it. They're good. So far, what have we done? We've split the baguette. We've coated the baguette with extra virgin olive oil. We've sprinkled some seasoning on it. And about another minute and a half as it looks, because I made sure all the heat was coming directly on top of it. And that's why I like that little toaster oven, convection oven kind of thing. It actually puts the heat where you need to, or the fan will kick on, they'll blow around everything too. So in just a few more seconds, let me take another hit off this. I'll pull it out. I'll move you over here to the stove because I don't want to put that on my table because it might be hot. One sec. Okay, so I will move you with me, bring you down to it. As you can, here. I wish you could smell this. This is just, It looks like it's kind of got a bunch of crap on it, but it's not really. It's just the average seasoning that you would want to have on a pizza or whatever it is your choice is. But I don't like to pour the sauce on it either. I like to use the paintbrush when I do it because if not, it's hard to fill in the cracks properly, and it seems like some parts get soggy more than others. But you can, of course, everyone else is different than mine. But when I do it, of course, you try to get as much as you can, but just keep in mind the people that if you can cater to somebody when you're cooking for them, that's what I like to do. If I know somebody who likes not very much sauce, and these things are quick filling, they're very, very good. So this would feed 4 people, or just one of me being really, really stoned like normal. Because yes, I ate that entire Jack's pizza last night, if you're wondering. So give me just a minute, and I'll turn the chat on to see who's all in and what anyone said, and then I'll put this back in. You have enough hands. Well, good morning to all you guys that are watching. And this is something that it costs about, I don't know, depending on the cheese price, I guess, about $4 to make. It's something really fun. And my middle child, I made it for her birthday, this past birthday. So now, every time she comes over, she says, "Dad, can you make some more of that pizza bread stuff that you made last time for my birthday?" I'm like, "Absolutely, honey." And see, she is the one in the middle. Of course, everyone else has their way they want pizza. But when it's her birthday, of course, she gets hers done the way she wants to. And what I'm going to do this time is I'll show you 2 different ways that I will make it. Like my one daughter, middle child, she only eats cheese. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that when I put it on here, at least these holes in the baguettes that are already hot, I can put some of the cheese down in there so it stays in long enough, and it actually stays into a nice, really cheesy taste. Now with my son and my oldest daughter, where they like pepperoni on theirs, excuse me, what they will do, because if you ever tried to bite into a pizza and you have your pepperoni on there with the cheese on it, and then it just all comes off at once. So what you can do, well, what I found with these things, since they're small, and then when we cut them in, what I'll do is I'll go down through and I will put them a couple pepperonis right down the center, sometimes 5 to 6, 4 to 5, depending on how much or how long they are. But since my children aren't here today because they're at school, I'm going to go ahead and put the pepperoni on this one as well. So each one of them have even amount, and then you just come right back through, of course, once again to the person or persons, people in general, however many people you have. This can even be, how far you could, it's not really bruschetta, but you could just cut straight down through here and make 16 pieces for just little appetizers. But I do like extra cheese on things, so I will do that. And I always like to smell the burning parts of the cheese. I'll throw a couple more of these on here. And also, another one is, I love to use ricotta. I don't have any ricotta right now, but ricotta is fucking awesome. Then I'll just come through and just make a little bit of Parmesan on all of them. And then not grab a hold of that thing. It's probably going to be hot. Now, some people don't like theirs super dry. So I usually pick 1 out of the 4, and I'll go through and I'll add just a little bit more sauce. So when it cooks, it has the sauce more inside it. And it makes it more like a Chicago style. When you dip into it, you know that you've really got a hold of something. So there's that. And the way I've found so far is what I like to do with, at least with my oven here. And I'll tilt you back some before I maneuver to the next back over spot. Glove back on it. That's going to be hot. What I'll do is I usually put them in on the top for a little bit. And then I will rotate around because sometimes this thing, it'll evenly cook, and then sometimes it really doesn't evenly cook. So now, while that's over here cooking, we will sit here for a moment. Kick the chat on. You know, I've never tried that with ciabatta bread. I'm not a good cook, Tammy, by the way. It's just this thing right here I'm good at. I can only make a couple things in my whole thing of cooking. I can make chili, I can make spaghetti, and I can make that. And that right there was just out of fluke. I was just messing around one day, and just the smell of it in my house when it's cooking was just fabulous. So I'm just going to sit here and smoke some weed for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm going to take it out, rotate it again. Now that is nice. Yeah, I might try that next time. We've used some of these little circle disc things from Kroger. They're like a flatbread, but I don't know if it's a ciabatta bread or not. But it's crazy good with like a fresh turkey and melt a little bit of. I like cheddar on mine, so each person is different. Are you smoking? If you're not smoking, you should be smoking. It helps. It really does. Anyhow, today's Tuesday. So I've already started talking about another giveaway too. I think I'm gonna give away that skull one. The one I was showing last night. The skull with the blue, uh, almost like a marble inlay all the way across it. I think that'd be a good one. Because the craziest thing is this. I was trying to get 450 subscribers from me, trying to get all that in there. Surprisingly enough, 15 subscribers this morning. I'm like, I had 442 a few minutes ago. I don't know where it came from. I put 2 videos on there of him this morning. The first one was he just was chasing after his glove. Second one, I found a stick, which you don't really chase sticks anyway, and I threw it. And there, one of them he got 11 subscribers, and the other one he got 4. I don't get it. And here I am putting a fucking big plastic head trying to get me to half kill myself to get 2 or 3 subscribers, and he can just lay there and get that. He's a good dog though. He's dumber than a box of rocks, but he's smart as shit. That's good. Whoa. Okay. I'm going to rotate you again. Put these on. We'll pull it out and take a look real quick. Yes, I would love to try that. There's been a couple different ones. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Well, the chat thing fell off for a second. I'm sorry. Thanks, Tammy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I put him on there before. Your cat got more than anything. She got like 1,500 likes right off the bat. Yeah, because Kiki's not mine. Tammy's my neighbor, and Kiki is not mine. Damn it. Okay, now we're gonna look at this shit. You ready? In round circles again. Oh man, I wish you could smell that. I really wish you could smell this. Do you see how it's somewhat gently already just melting it? What I like to do is take it and I'll rotate it, and then I put it on the bottom rack because I don't want to leave it up there. Excuse me, too long. And then what I will do, if somebody wants it extra crispy, I'm telling you what, I would love to have one. I would almost, what I would love to try to do? You see those balls that people get in and like roll around and shit? I would love to get inside of one of those and somebody pump that thing full of smoke. I don't know if I can handle it or not, but I'd try like hell. Okay, when I just slid these back in here, right now I know that the bottom is going to stay a little bit dry and moist, or dry and moist, huh? That's like the medicine that causes diarrhea and constipation at the same fucking time. You don't know whether to shit or run a foot race. I know. Anyway, what I meant was I'm going to let this set for the next time around, but when I put it back in this time, I'm going to put them back in directly on the rack. That way the bottom becomes a little bit crispy, so it does not get too moist and soggy on the bottom with not having a place to escape to. You gonna make pizza for lunch? You know what? One thing is that I love Chef Boyardee pizza. I mean, I freaking love it, but I can't make it. I've tried. Now I can take a Jack's Pizza or a DiGiorno or something. Ooh, thank you. Rawr. Nice rack. Nice, Jax. That was a good one. I'm high. Quit making me laugh. I'm trying to cook. I don't want to burn. I don't want to burn it. Nah, just playing. But man, I'm supposed to share this, I think, but I'm not going to share it. Nope. Because see, me, I could take this, have these personal little tray things in the house. I can take it in there and just put it right in front of my recliner, pop on Netflix or just anything. Hell, it could just be blue screen. I'll be munching and munching and munching. Anyhow, okay. So far, you know what we got in it? Chef Boyardee Lee. Chef Boyardee. Well, if you're going to make something, though, at least send a picture of it, or post us or tag us in it. I'd like to see it. Well, and I think it's about time to take these off and put them directly on the rack too. It doesn't take a whole lot of time for these things to cook, especially when you pre-cook. I mean, just yep. These things would be seriously ready to go in like 4 minutes. So, one more time before we take it out and cut it. So what I'll do is I'll take it out and I'll cut it the way it is now, and I'll listen. If it doesn't have a very crunchy crust, then I will take them out and put them directly on the rack. That's the only thing different that I would do normally. But the way of cooking now, it seems like it's crisping up really good because that was like a really thick baguette, and it's nice. But they do get dried out quite a bit. So if you don't watch what you're doing, if you don't add enough either olive oil or whatever kind of sauce you're doing, it's really going to be nasty. I just said nasty. But the only good part about that is you do have the extra pizza sauce is still left in the can. So you can use it as a marinara sauce. Once you get it, you can dip it in there. You can add stuff to it. Or I can just sit here and I can talk to you about it. Hello. You know what it's like to have dry pizza? Please, by all means, ask for extra sauce. Just get a little bit. Yes, I've lost my shit. Just so you know. Okay. I'm just here. I've never made homemade. Well, actually, I take that back. I have been involved with some stuff. My dad usually has a garden every year. But of course, I haven't went down there in a couple of years now. But he always makes salsa. He'll make pizza sauce, and he'll make stewed tomatoes. So you can put them in your chilies as well, or put them in chili as well. And they're really good. But I've never actually done it on my own. But I've watched it being done with the seasoning and with the actual mashing of actual tomatoes and things. Because my family, my dad's side of the family, they all grew up on a farm. And every year we made apple butter. I mean, every year we take apples off the tree right in front of the house. My granny would just keep collecting them throughout the time, and she'd freeze them. And then when winter came, of course, they all get thawed out. They get peeled, ripped apart, threw in there, and we would stand outside with this big ass wand to do this shit constantly for like 6 hours straight, each person, just keeping it moving, keeping adding until Granny finally got her last taste of it. And it's, perfectly sweet, perfectly tartish, whatever it is for an apple. And then we just start jarring it up. And there's nothing like having fresh apple butter right out of a kettle, just outside. Huge. We have these huge brass kettles that we use, or pots, or whatever we call them. Well, before this burn, wait a minute, this isn't right. It couldn't be me unless I weed infused it. Okay, let me at least lower you down some, and then we will turn. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me turn you. Okay. You hear it sizzling? Weed infused. Okay, so now, followers. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pop them out and I'm going to cut them and they're going to be ready to eat. I'm sorry. Ooh. Didn't mean to come across weirdly, but I'm not going to try them in front of you because I know I'm going to have a. No. My kids are 16, 14, and 12. Lord, I hope they don't. Yeah. But if they chose to, I would not take it from them. When they were old enough to do whatever they wanted to do, I'm not going to judge my kids for anything like some parents do, or I don't put my kids up above what we are. My kids know hopefully they still know the respect of a dollar, the value of a dollar. No, my kids aren't here, hon. No. My kids are at school. This is my pizza and Tammy's pizza because she purchased the stuff and asked me to make it. So yeah, no. They're at school. I promise. And I'm sure there's much weed have I smoked already, as hungry as I am right now. Well, now to each their own on that, because some people even believe it makes them focus more. It's hard to tell. Let's cut some. You see, there's no crispiness to it. So that's when I like to put it back in without the rack. So I'm going to put the back you up so I don't fall, knock you over. I will. I'll make sure. I'm going to recheck this after we're done because what I'm trying to do right now is just, get everybody involved as much as I can as I'm talking through it. But I'm going to put the crispiness to the test. One. Yeah, now see, I myself don't always like it super crispy. Ouch. That was hot. But I'll close this one in for a minute, just so you can tell by the way oops, yeah, see, it was almost right on time too. Those were hot, so I'm going to get a spatula to move them ones on, but I'm going to go ahead and finish these ones first, because it doesn't take very long after you put them back in there. But Jax, yes, I'm the same way. I mean, if they're still in school and I find out they're doing it before they're, graduating, that's one thing. But afterward, I really didn't start smoking until like 3 years ago. I know. What I do though when I first pull it out is I'll check it to make sure the crispiness of the crust. That's why I put these ones back in directly on the rack instead of with that, because sometimes it ends up settling on it back and forth. And some people like a crispy crust, some people like a chewy crust. Which these ones here I preferred to make like for myself. So that's why I put the extra sauce on top, because I like it when it has that little bit more of a direct way bite. So, oh excuse me, I will pull one out and we will cut it. I will let you smell it, and then I will let you go because I plan on doing a 30-minute show today, and I really appreciate you guys showing up. Well, now, believe it or not, I smoked twice in high school. The very first time I ever smoked, it made me sick. So that's why I stayed away from it. Growing up all the way through, yes, I may have made some bad choices with other drugs, but never once with weed until I started using it medically. Hey, I don't deliver though, Tammy. I'm sure you can smell. Here, smell. You're close enough to come get a bite. I don't deliver. Hang on. Yeah, I can actually hear the crispiness in this one now. Oh, yes. Hear it crispy? Okay. Well, it's going to be hot. But cheers to you, and thank you so much for stopping in. It was a lot of fun. I do like to communicate back and forth. I know it sounds weird that I'm looking down talking to you, but you actually came here when I first started my little French bread pizza extravaganza, and now you're going to end with me trying to eat it without burning my face off. So thank you guys once again. I appreciate all the shares, all the love, and remember, if you ever need anything, hit me up. I'm here. Okay, you're not alone, no matter what you're going through. If I don't know how to help you or who to direct you to, I know people that will. So thank you again for everyone so much. Thanks, Jax. Talk to you later too. Tammy, if you're close, it's time to eat. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's not. No, it's not. What's up, Gar? Thank you so much. And I still love my bear with the bong on it, dude. I show every person that comes into my door. Tell you what, thank you so much for that. Oh man, this is so sweet. I might see you in an hour, but I'm going to eat this and hibernate, I'm pretty sure. So, guys, catch you later. See you soon, Tammy.